So I talk a lot about nature as a resource, and I want to suggest that we are all in relationship with nature all of the time. And so if you think you don't have a relationship with nature, I'd ask you to reconsider and to think about what kind of relationship you have with nature. So how do you perceive nature and its resource? I think there's, it's a continuum, but kind of pointing at places along that continuum. One is that we perceive nature through the lens of capitalism, which is nature's just a thing waiting to be used and utilized, and that it's something for us to take from. Sort of a middle ground is that we have some kind of relationship with nature. We recognize nature as important, as regulatory, as part of all of our systems. But it's very kind of conceptual or theoretical. Then there's an embodied way to be in relationship with nature, which is to say that we find a reciprocation with nature, so that when we are drawing from nature, we're leaving behind some sort of gift, whether that's a literal gift of water to the ground, or whether it's our gratitude. And this is the place that I think we most transform in our relationship with nature, and where nature can offer us a lot of tools and awareness about how we're living and what we're doing and what our goals are. So this is where nature becomes really reflective, is when we get to this reciprocal relationship with nature. This is much more of an indigenous kind of relationship with nature, in which we see all living things in nature as our relatives, as interdependent with us, and nature then has a lot to offer us in terms of really settling into that reciprocation. And what does that mean for us? What does that look like for us? And I think each person or each group might have a different way that looks, what behaviors does that elicit. But when we think of ourselves as truly being in relationship with nature, we want to consider that reciprocation. So hopefully that helps as you develop further your relationship with nature and get to a place where nature can be a support system for your family unit, and help build that ecosystem of family.